You ever notice how your savings account barely grows even though you've been saving for years, yet your credit card balance somehow balloons if you miss one payment? Yeah, same account, same planet, two totally different universes, and the difference is just one sneaky force: compound interest. If you've ever looked at your bank app and thought, wait, where did my money go? Or you've seen some TikTok kid bragging about turning $500 into $500,000, stick around, because today we're cracking open the math that decides which side of that equation you land on. My name is Tito, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money quietly multiplies behind the scenes. If you're someone who feels stuck on a financial hamster wheel, paycheck in, bills out, zero progress, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Look, here's the thing: most of us were told put money in savings and it grows. Technically true, kind of like saying plant a seed and a tree appears. But nobody mentions the soil, the weather, or, the 17 squirrels trying to dig it up. Compound interest works the same way. It can plant you a money forest or it can bury you alive. The only difference is the direction the interest is flowing. First, the cruel math. Average credit card rate right now, 22%. Average savings account yield, 0.45%. If you keep a $3,000 balance on a card and pay only the minimum, you'll shell out roughly $4,100 in interest before it's gone, almost 140% extra. Meanwhile, $3,000 sitting in high-yield savings earns a $13 this year. That's not even enough for a halfway decent burrito. So one side compounds your debt into a monster, the other compounds your latte money into slightly better latte money. Here's what most people don't realize: time is the fuel but rate is the flamethrower. Take two 25-year-olds. Jasmine invests $200 a month into a basic index fund earning 9%, just below historical market average, then stops at 35. Total contributed, $24,000. Her cousin Carlos waits until 35, then drops $300 a month for 30 straight years, $108,000 out of pocket. At 65, who wins? Jasmine's 24K blossoms to about $717,000. Carlos ends up with $407,000. She contributed a fourth the money, never added another dime after age 35, and still wallops him by $310 grand. That's compound interest flexing. Now you might be thinking 9%. Where am I getting that? I'm not talking crypto rockets or meme stonks. Total US market index, boring as toast, has delivered roughly 9–10% annually since the 1920s when you roll dividends back in. Trick is you have to stay in the boat. Miss the 30 best trading days over the last 20 years, just 30 and your return halves. That's why market timing usually morphs into market crying. Let's flip the script to the dark side. Payday loans, car title loans, even that buy now, pay later jeans splurge, interest compounds daily on some of these. A $500 advance at the typical 391% APR, rolled over every 2 weeks, becomes $1,925 in 6 months. You didn't borrow $1,000, the interest had babies and those babies had babies. It's financial algebra and you're solving for broke. Here's the psychological kicker: humans suck at picturing exponential curves. We think linear, 1,234. But compounding goes 1,248, suddenly you're staring at a number that feels like witchcraft. That's why credit card companies send you glossy envelopes saying you're pre-approved. They know you'll swipe for today's dopamine and they'll collect tomorrow's curve. Okay, objection time. Tito, I can barely cover rent. How am I supposed to invest? Start with the smallest unit of faith you can, 1% of every dollar that hits your checking account. Apps will auto-split it. $50 paycheck. 50 cents slides into a Roth invested in a total market index. You won't feel it, but the habit is the on-ramp. When you get a raise, nudge it to 2%. The goal isn't the dollar amount, it's turning the compounding arrow in your favor before life's expenses eat the surplus. Think of it like changing the direction of a conveyor belt. Right now, if you're paying 18% on a card and earning 0% on cash, you're jogging the wrong way even while you're sleeping. Pay minimums on every debt except the highest rate, attack that one with flamethrower intensity. Once it's gone, roll the old payment into the next balance. That snowball is really just compound interest in reverse. Each paid-off chunk frees up more cash to kill the next and the next. This is where it gets really interesting. The same exponential force that buries you can catapult you, but the decisive factor is which account you feed first. Feed the debt, it multiplies. Feed the investment, that multiplies. The math doesn't care about your mood, your horoscope, or whether Dogecoin is having a moment, it just obeys the cash flow. Quick checklist to flip the arrow today. 1. Automate $5 into a brokerage the minute your paycheck lands, future you gets paid first. Refinance or transfer any debt over 10% interest, even 3% lower saves hundreds. Turn on Roundup investing on your debit card, you'll average an extra $30 a month without noticing. Promise yourself you'll never carry a credit card balance again, because 22% compounds a lot faster than your 9% investments. And look, if you're sitting there with student loans, kids, or a job that smells like burnt coffee and broken dreams, I get it. I've eaten the 99-cent ramen 6 nights straight. But compound interest doesn't need perfection, it needs direction and time. Even $20 a month pointed the right way for 30 years at 9% is $32,000. Not retirement, but proof the machine started. So here's your close, decide tonight which side of the curve you're on. Are you the borrower who owes tomorrow's labor for today's stuff, or the investor who lets tomorrow's productivity pay you while you sleep? Smash the debt arrow, fire up the investment arrow, and let time do the heavy lifting. Drop a comment with the first tiny step you're taking, $5 transfer, card cut up, whatever, and I'll be cheering you on down there. If this flipped the light switch, hit subscribe and share it with that friend who still thinks minimum payments are a plan. Let's all get rich slowly and stay that way.